What is going on, good and wonderful people? Here to bring in our video, and today we're talking about Starfield. And now that it's 2026, it is a very crucial year for Bethesda's new IP franchise that took 25 plus years to make, which is known as Starfield. And also, it's been a divisive journey for Starfield. I'm a person that likes, and I'm not saying this is the title to cause, say, Starfield sucks or any of that, but Starfield is in a critical condition right now. It's make or break this year for Starfield because in 2025 we only got bug fixes, which is a good thing because the game needs to work properly. But also, we didn't get much news except for that one video by Tim Lamb, which I'll show in this video. And
I think as it comes to Starfield, I'm really excited for players to see what the team's been working on. We have some cool stuff coming, including free updates and features that players have been asking for, as well as a new DLC story. I can't go into all the details just yet, but I will say part of the team has been focused on space gameplay to make the travels there more rewarding. We're also adding some new game systems and a few other smaller delights. There's also some really interesting stuff coming down the pipe from our verified creators. There's some fun stuff. I just want to say thanks. We really appreciate the support and the enthusiasm. We can't wait to get it into the hands of our players.
so yeah, that was months ago. Bethesda promised a bunch of free updates and features players have been asking for. They also mentioned a bunch of new stuff coming from creators of the verified creators program for paid mods, and they also mentioned they're working on a new single player story expansion. And the biggest thing that they were talking about is new game systems and also ways to improve space flight, where you actually fly your way to planets, possibly land on planets on your own instead of fast traveling or going through a menu simulator, which people like to joke about for Starfield. So yeah, Starfield is teasing some big changes, and how big are they going to be? We'll just have to wait and find out. And last year for this game, the only content big DLC update, which was somewhat of a big DLC and was fantastic by the creators who did it, was the Watchtower paid mod, which really did introduce some new game systems. But we also want content that Bethesda can put in themselves, like when they update their Creation Engine 2, which they're using now, the Creation 2 engine. So when it comes to Starfield, this is very crucial for them, because they got to make money. I've been supporting this game with a bunch of paid creations. Yes, I will admit it. I hate microtransactions, but they're not going anywhere, people. Even days of single-player games having no microtransactions are over. It's something we gotta accept now, unfortunately. So, when it comes to this, we only got paid expansion, paid creations, which was keeping Starfield alive, but it can't keep it alive much longer. Because we need actual content made by the developers, and want to hear the voice actors and actresses return again for Sarah Morgan, Barrett, Bosco, and many others, and hopefully get some more. And the only single-player piece of story expansion that we've gotten so far is the Shattered Space DLC, which was really divisive. I personally loved it, how creepy it felt. But I know a lot of people still have the problem with Starfield's base game mechanics is that it's really slow-paced, that the worlds just feel empty on the planets, which I agree. When you're playing a Bethesda game, you want to explore, get distracted by so much side activities and stuff. And Missowary quest, if that's how you pronounce it. And one thing that was great about Starfield's Shattered Space, that it was one huge handcrafted planet. That's something people wanted the most from the base game to improve on. Is that everything was pretty much the same interiors. People want interesting interiors to explore. And another thing that Starfield is apparently getting is a bunch of loading screens removed or times faster now. because I even gotta agree. Like, Bethesda games do gotta evolve and eventually stop relying on loading screens for everything. Like, sometimes you just want to open the door and just walk in seamlessly. Character development. I really wonder how that's gonna work for the Bethesda to remove a bunch of loading screens. Like, because that's how their engine works. I don't know their engine, like, but I do know Bethesda games have always had tons of loading screens, even back in the day, which makes sense because it was old hardware, even for Morrowind, Oblivion. But people are getting tired of that. So yeah. We all know Starfield is most likely coming to PlayStation 5, which is a good thing, and its new big upcoming expansion, but it needs to be working because Bethesda has managed to upset all three of their fan bases lately with Elder Scrolls. People getting tired of Skyrim remastered since it just came to the Switch 2 last year before Christmas. And also, people for Fallout are upset with the mod limit, storage increased delay, and also Fallout 4 being broken again. So yeah, Bethesda's been not doing so well, and people are really getting tired of stuff being broken and buggy, and yes, I know about the 60 FPS angry thing. People are mad about Switch 2, no 60 FPS. So Bethesda has taken backlash after backlash, and they really do need to take their time with. They gotta win back the fans that have left this game, that either really did not give a chance or they've been just trying to hope for the best for this game. Like, the PS5 version would bring in multiple new players, and if they do all these changes right and show they've been listening to the community, what we wanted, and give us the features we asked for while coming up with their own ideas and stuff, like, because this game is on its last legs for its chance to become a franchise, I fear. Like, this game has lost so many players since launch, and it's going to be 3 years old pretty soon, this September 6th, even though it's a couple months away. This update, and I hope it's going to be game changing as they say it is. Like, a lot of people say it could be like a Phantom Liberty from Cyberpunk, but these are two different developers. And yes, Bethesda has made great story expansions in the past, like Skyrim Dragonborn, Dawnguard, but we have to see this update 2.0 that is coming out that's supposed to be like Starfield 2.0, like a game changer, like Cyberpunk got. So, and also there's also apparently a Nintendo Switch 2 version, which I don't know how that's gonna work. Like, because the Switch 2 is powerful as a PS4 Pro, according to a lot of experts. Like, I own one, but I'm not the tech guy. But Starfield is just really in a bad spot. Like, if this update really can change things and bring back players, which would be a great thing. Bethesda will get the idea, people want more. Let's continue our original plans to make multiple updates, free updates, daily, monthly updates, and yearly updates, and also for more big story expansions. Because what's great about space, it's the unknown. You can come up with so much, like, for anything for this thing. It's not like this game is limited to one world. Yes, I know a lot of people say Starfield suffered with having 1,000+ empty planets and prestige generated. I'm sure they learned from their mistakes now, but this is it for this game. Like, I want to see more about the Starborn, because I feel like the main quest after you complete it, especially with multiple endings, like, there's so many directions they can go in for the trademarked and leaked and rumored Starborn DLC. But if this game continues to lose players and it doesn't bring in players for new consoles or returning players for whether it's Xbox or PC, I feel like Starfield will just be dropped. And Bethesda has the majority of their team and half their teams working on the Elder Scrolls 6 right now. If Bethesda sees no money coming in with either versions of these upcoming most likely happen, and not sure on a Switch 2 version. And if paid creations aren't making money, what Bethesda's going to say, what's the point? No one's playing this, no one wants more, and just drop it. And I'm sure that would be heartbreaking for Todd Howard, because apparently this was his dream game that he dreamt of making for years as a kid. Like, I can't imagine how heartbreaking that would be. Like, I would be heartbroken having to drop a game that I want to support for years and years to come when we didn't get the chance for Skyrim or Fallout 4 to do that, make official content, and have some other people make content. Like, I would be just very heartbroken. So if it doesn't bring back players, this most likely will be Starfield's last story expansion, whatever this DLC is going to be. If it's going to be the trademark Starborn DLC, Bethesda needs a win. They got to get this right. They got to show that they're able to listen to constructive criticism, good and bad. They also got to not have this thing be always broken, because people are getting tired of, like I said, bugginess, broken, unplayable games that making us the beta testers. Like, they got to test this right. They got to make sure it's perfect to go, especially the PS5 version, since Bethesda's always had problems programming for Sony consoles. Look at Skyrim on the PS3. Fallout 4 suffers a lot of problems on the PS4. And I'm sure the PS5 version has some issues for Fallout 4. The last thing I'll get to is on the story for this upcoming expansion. I don't know what it's going to be about, but there's so many ideas and ways, especially if they're going to do a continuation of the main game story. Like, there's so many directions, especially with New Game Plus and the universes and all that. Like, for one example, like meeting the creators of the artifacts and all that. Well, yeah, the artifacts. Like, it would be nice to see where other Starborn can go, where the creators are. Like, as I want to learn more about the Starborn, there's so much interesting lore that they come up. Not lore, Lore, about the Starborn. And another thing that could make interesting is if you have a spouse and you went into the Unity on either playthrough, they eventually become reborn and you can maybe possibly see them again. That would make for good storytelling. But we also need a lot of good choices, consequences for our actions for this DLC, and really good writing. That's something a lot of people are not happy with Bethesda for the last few years, is the writing. Even though I like Shattered Space's writing and story, but they got to please a lot of people, because this game's got to make money or it's over. So yeah, this is a critical year for Starfield. Let's